Hello everybody, welcome to another video review, but today I got something a little bit different. It's not about a major motion picture or anything along those lines. In fact, it's not even really a full-length movie. It's a fan film, about 15 minutes long, from the producer of Dredd. And this fan film has been getting attention almost everywhere. It's insane how much attention this has been getting, and for both good and bad reason. And of course, assuming whoever's watching this read the title, it's about the Power Rangers fan film, or sometimes it's called Power Rangers Bootleg. Now, what do I think about it? Me, I'm a Power Rangers fan. I've been a Power Rangers fan since I was a kid. I don't really watch as much now that I'm older, but every once in a while I'll go back to it and rewatch some of the episodes just for nostalgia. I can only watch a couple episodes at a time because after a while the cheesiness does kind of get a little too cringy. I do enjoy Sentai though. I do enjoy the Super Sentai series. That holds up. That is actually really well done. It does have camp every now and again, but it's not as campy. Sentai is fantastic. Check out Sentai. I cannot recommend Sentai enough. In Power Rangers, there are some really great seasons of it. Mighty Morphin is, of course, the go-to one. Space is fantastic. I think my favorite story arc was when they were the ninjas, simply because I liked the Zords they had. I also really liked Zeo because Zeo was just the mythology of all of it was just really deep and awesome. But basically, Power Rangers was basically what got me into kaijus and all that stuff, which is why I have an obsession with Godzilla, Pacific Rim, anything with giant monsters in it. So if it wasn't for Power Rangers, I probably would not be a big fan of Godzilla or Pacific Rim as much as I am now. I still might have an appreciation for both of them, and I probably would have still found Pacific Rim to be highly entertaining, but I don't think I'd enjoy it as much as I do if I wasn't as big of a fan of Power Rangers as I was a kid as I am now. But I'm not here to talk about Pacific Rim or Godzilla. I'm here to talk about the fan film produced from the producer of Dredd. Now, this fan film, it's definitely not for kids at all. There's swearing, there's blood, there's excessive amounts of violence. It's insane. And that's fine. I don't mind that whatsoever. One thing that did take me back, this is the one complaint I had with it. Why were the Power Rangers using assault rifles? I am not okay with that. Give them blasters. I don't care. Keep some fun in it. When I see them using more real-world weapons, it takes me back, and it was during this. It was the opening was definitely trying to be more like Halo than it was trying to be Power Rangers. And they also aren't the Power Rangers that much in the movie. It's kind of just mentioned that they did it at one point, aside from the beginning, and this scene with Zack, the Black Ranger. There really isn't much of them being Power Rangers. There's a few good, really cool fight scenes in it, but aside from that, it's just. It could have been almost anything else had they not had those two scenes in it, and they didn't mention characters' names and all of those likes. And now here's where my fan nitpicks come in. They say the Machine Empire took over. By the time that would have happened, they become the Zeo Rangers, because the Mighty Morphin Rangers were not powerful enough to take on the Machine Empire, so they became the Zeo Rangers. And also, by the time Rocky joined, Zack was no longer in the Power Rangers. He left. Well, maybe he got his powers back. No, he gave them over to Adam, and Adam would have held on to him up until... What was the one? I stopped watching after some point. I think it was Operation Overdrive was the one where he made a cameo in. And it was really bad. He was cool. The only reason I watched the episode was to see him in it. Of course, seeing him in it was really cool, but Operation Overdrive was just awful, from what I can say. And from the episode even, it was really, really bad. And that opening theme song, that's a disaster. You don't do that. I'm sorry. Whoever made that theme song, it was terrible. So nitpicks like that. And they mentioned the Yellow Ranger, and they still had to be Trini. And of course, unfortunately, the lady who played the original Yellow Ranger had passed away a while ago, so they had her killed off, and they had her at her funeral, which I think was out of respect for her. the actress at least, which was heartwarming. But also, by that time, she also would not have had the Power Rangers powers anymore. That would have went to... I am forgetting her name. But anyways, we're moving on. The effects are really good. They're fantastic. The suits they had for the Power Rangers looked really well done. I liked Tommy, the Green Ranger's shield he had over him. They made it more holographic than just solid metal. I wish they would have gotten Jason David Frank to play the part, but David Frank was offered, but he turned it down, so they couldn't get him. And I've seen articles, go on to the articles now, about this that bring up Jason David Frank's opinion on it, and a lot of them are making him sound way more aggressive than he is. He's saying he didn't like it. He said it was too violent for him. There's nothing wrong with that. He thinks Power Rangers should be for kids. It should be. Pacific Rim's made for kids. I mean, not, like 4-year-olds, but it's still made for younger kids along the lines of like 8, 10-year-olds. Pacific Rim's primarily made for them. So you can have something along those lines that isn't overtly violent, but is still really good. Pacific Rim proved that. I wish they would have shown more of that Zord fight at the beginning of the short film. That would have been really cool to see. I thought that looked really awesome. I will say that. And seeing the Power Rangers get killed off, like legitimately killed off, was kind of surreal to watch. Because having characters from childhood just get killed off and turn evil just doesn't sit well in my stomach. I know that it's implied that they just are now receiving post-traumatic stress disorder because they were kids when they were enlisted by Zordon. So that makes sense that, like, psychologically that would make sense that they would just snap at a certain point. But I don't know, it just doesn't feel comfortable for me seeing that actually happen because, I always see Power Rangers lighthearted and fun. But this, I'm not going to lie, it is really well done. The effects are great. The acting is really good for something like this. The twist at the end was also pretty decent. I do recommend checking it out. If it's still on YouTube or Vimeo, I think it came back up on Vimeo, and I know there are third parties that have placed the Power Rangers fan film back on YouTube. And definitely check it out. It really shows that one can make something mature out of something that's more child-friendly, and it works. I mean, you obviously can't do that with everything. I can't see an R-rated Winnie the Pooh, but for something like Power Rangers, it can work. But just don't let the kids watch it. It's definitely not for them. My older self enjoyed it. Aside from the nitpicks, it is really well done and well made, well acted, well produced. Check it out as soon as possible. It's a lot of fun just to sit through. It's 15 minutes. It's not like you're wasting that much of your life. Anyways, I definitely recommend it. Minus those nitpicks. I hope you guys enjoy it. Catch you guys later.